Welcome to one of those, a show that explores the art of sneaker culture. I'm your host, Adam Butler, back with another episode. Thank you so kindly for being here. Today we have a special guest, my boy from back in the day. He's been on the show before, and he's been here to talk about a huge event that takes place in the Washington, D.C. area, but this is a national event at this point, and it's happening again, and it's bigger and bolder and greater than ever before. But before I introduce him, I got to remind you, like and subscribe to this channel. This is a new channel. Okay, we got to get the word out there. So do that for me. Subscribe to the channel, like the videos, cut on notifications, click that bell, all of that stuff. It helps out so much. If you're a podcaster, subscribe to the podcast, share the podcast. Let's get the word out, okay? Now, let's not waste any time. Let's get into it. My man Jermon Williams is in the building. He represents Broccoli City, and Broccoli City is one of the biggest brands out there when it comes to being in the community and entertaining folks. The Broccoli City Fest is nationally known, globally known. Some of the biggest artists in the world perform at Broccoli City Fest, and that's not changing this year. It's coming up very soon. And Jermon is here to talk about that. But not only that, he's here to talk about some of the activations that have surrounded Broccoli City Fest. And he's also here to talk about the mission of Broccoli City, which is equally as important as all of the fun activities, okay? So without further ado, my boy from way back, my good friend, Jermon Williams is in the building. At long last, Jermon, you're on the show.
What's going on, brother?
Coolin', man. Listen, I don't want to tell the people too much of the behind the scenes, but me and you been trying to work this out. And this is it's like, it's not even like I'm, like we know each other, right? So it's like, it's crazy. We've been trying to book this thing for a while. I'm so happy to have you on. I'm so happy to be talking about Broccoli City Fest, man. I need one of them t-shirts, by the way.
Got you.
Hey, that's all I've ever asked for. First off, let's jump right to it. Let's talk about Broccoli City Fest. People that have listened to one of those, and people in not even just the Washington, D.C. area anymore. Really, if you live in the United States, you hip to Broccoli City. You guys are doing tremendous things. Talk to us about Broccoli City and what's going on this year.
Yeah, absolutely. First, glad to be here. Always happy to sit with you, brother. You were one of the first, supporters, man, true supporters of what we were trying to do. Yeah, man, love and respect. But, for those who don't know who we are, we're Broccoli City. We're a nonprofit, / social enterprise, whose mission is all about community impact. And so for us, it's about making impact, and impacting and improving marginalized communities by using hip hop and really leaning into, culture and the arts to make that change, right? So whether it's improving food deserts or helping folks find jobs, right? Sustainability, we use hip hop and culture to do it. We started in 2008 as an organic t-shirt company, doing events between here and LA. That sort of led us into doing bigger events, which really became this concept around, having a sort of hosting a festival and aligning it with Earth Day. No one was really doing that and really like from our community, right? And so we did that in 2010 in LA, and that really planted the seeds for BC Fest, which is really our biggest program. And this was in 2013. And so 11 years later, BC Fest is still here. We're still moving.
Yeah. BC Fest, I love how humble you are. I love how humble all of you are. But BC Fest is huge. And for this area, again, it's a global thing. It's not like it's just local artists. And if it was, that would be dope too. But it's like, we're talking about like mainstream, big time acts. We're going to get into some of the acts that are on the bill in a few. BC Fest is huge, but the things that you do are surrounding it, right? This show here, I feel like, it's a sneaker show on the surface, but it's a fashion show. It's a culture show, right? I like how you all blend all of that together, how you blend hip hop, fashion, culture, health, mental health, physical health, nutrition, environmental issues, all of that wrapped into one. talk to me about how you all just kind of went from like a t-shirt company, an organic t-shirt company,
Mm,
and I remember the t-shirts too.
yeah,
Shout out to the jump man with the broccoli.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean? But you know,
yeah,
Paul had one of them joints. I never got one, but that
yeah.
thing was clean. But you know, talk to me just about like the philosophy of sort of branching off and saying like, yeah, we based in hip hop, we based
Yeah,
in culture, but culture touches all of these things as well, especially for Black folks.
yeah, for sure. That's a good question. So the T-shirt, so BC Fest, as a was well, BC Broccoli City
Mm-hmm.
itself, the organization was started by two of my partners,
Yeah,
Marcus Allen and Brandon McCahon. And
yeah,
so that initial concept was all about um, using using tools that they had at their disposal,
yeah,
right? So both of them were immersed in culture. They loved culture, and so and in addition to that, they were into these things, right? Into learning about, you know, sustainability and how to get involved in volunteerism. Like these were all things that at the time, were really, I think, in our community viewed as mutual exclusive. These things were really exclusive, right? Where mutually exclusive,
yeah,
where you had to be you kind of had to pick, right? You couldn't be out here moving around saying, I love hip hop, I love sneakers. Oh, and by the way, you should check out this vegan restaurant. Like you didn't see a lot of that,
yeah, yeah,
a lot of
yeah,
consciousness, right, around health and really and blending it, I would say, in popular culture. And
yeah,
so for them and me, it was really about, you know, being authentic when it came to that,
yeah,
knowing that, hey, yeah, we love these things, but we're also into this, and we think that our community can really benefit from it.
mhm,
Let's lean into these spaces,
yeah,
and it just became a creative way to do it,
yeah,
and a more authentic way to do it. By really, just making sure that anything we were doing, any messages we were pushing, that there were you could see those through lines.
hmm,
Um, visibly, that represented who we were, right? That extended from, again, the music, the fashion, and just really blending that,
yeah.
with those important messages. So,
Yeah, and I think again, I think that's really cool. You said something that I found was interesting, which is like, yeah, I'm in this like sneaker culture, hip hop culture, fashion culture, right? Is often viewed as like shallow,
yeah,
right? You
yeah,
mentioned that, like saying, "Hey, I'm into all of this, but also like, let me hip you to this vegan restaurant. I'm into all this, but let me hip you. Why don't you try some brown bags instead of the
yeah.
plastic bags every now and then, right?" Um, do you feel like you all use like the popularity, and correct me if I'm wrong,
Mm,
the popularity of hip hop and the coolness of hip
yeah,
hop and culture and all of these things, and sort of like spoon feed the message, right? Like it's almost like how you put the medicine in your baby's
yeah.
applesauce. Was that the thought process before when it wasn't like the most popular thing to be black and vegan, black and environmentally conscious?
Yeah, I think so, because when we look at the sustainability and just health space overall.
Yeah.
Back then you saw a lot of folks who were preaching a
Mm,
message, and they were, and a lot of times we know how it goes when
yeah.
one comes off preachy. It
Yeah.
can it you end up missing your target, right? You're trying to land this message, within a certain demo,
Mhm.
and anything that comes off preachy, can miss completely. And so for us, it was about, yes, it was about being super, being aware of that, and just taking, using these connectors, right? Culture,
Mhm.
uh, music, the arts, using those things,
Mhm.
to help sort of plant these seeds, and just sort of, incrementally, introducing certain types of messaging that would hit people where they were, right? So you had folks within our demo uh, who probably just they knew about, um, ways to live a more healthier lifestyle,
Yeah.
but they might have, at that point in time, they may have needed just a little inspiration, right?
Yeah.
Then you have those who aren't as further along, and those are the people who need they need a little more. And so for us,
Mhm.
it was always giving just enough to hit each person in a way that didn't push people away, and that
Yeah.
also and also in an authentic way.
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. And that's always important, being authentic, because again, there's plenty of people that have, community programs that cosplay is cool.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Hey, I'm out here. Hey, I'm hip. They just come off, and like you said, they come off as super corny. One thing I think about Broccoli City, just as an organization and not just
yeah,
as a festival, is that it's always been authentic. You all make having like a community workout day
yeah,
cool, having a community plant day cool, having like a podcast on this or talk on that cool. With that being said, let's talk
right,
about some of the things that surround Broccoli City Fest again,
yeah,
especially leading up to the festival. There's all sorts of things. I mean, you guys are super busy. I see,
yeah,
and I always look at it like, damn, I wish I knew about that one. I knew about that one.
yeah, yeah,
Here's the
yeah,
opportunity to like tell people like, here are other initiatives that we have that are surrounding, or what
yeah,
are some of the initiatives surrounding the actual Broccoli City Festival?
yeah. No, good question. I mean, we've always considered ourselves, I mean, more than a festival, because we
Yeah,
are more than a festival, and
for
so
sure.
we use festival time as an opportunity to really highlight
Yeah.
and amplify some of the year round work we do.
Mm-hmm.
We while also understanding and accepting that most of the visibility we get yearly happens during festival time, which is quite
Mm-hmm.
all right. But the whole purpose has always been to leverage to leverage that silver nugget or gold nugget, right,
Mm-hmm.
which is the festival. And so,
Yeah.
the team has done a good job of that. We have what's called Road to Broccoli.
Mm-hmm.
It's a campaign, campaign that's basically built out that has events built out that lead up to BC Fest, and each
Mm-hmm.
event is really symbolic of who we are,
Yeah.
right? That we're more than a festival. So, you're gonna have Fit Day, the workout, class we did a couple weeks ago, with Abundant Gym. Shout out to them.
Yeah.
And you're gonna have the Juneteenth bike ride,
Mm-hmm.
right? So really getting creative and finding these creative ways to amplify some of the activities we do year round, right? Um, what's another one that we've done? And then also, supporting other people, right? We're really big on, community over competition. So
Yeah.
along with events we curate and
Mm-hmm.
partner with other people on, we also will just pull up and support
Yeah.
events that are happening between, the time we announce BC Fest,
Yeah.
up until, the actual festival.
Yeah.
Um, so, it's just, it's really, like I said, it's a microcosm. Those leadership events are a microcosm of the work we do year round. So people know
Yeah.
that we are truly, bigger than just a 2 day festival.
For sure. And correct me if I'm wrong. You guys have like programming as well. Like I've seen like podcasts and
Yeah.
other like programming. Just talk about some of that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, content has always been something we believed in and leaned on, dating back to when we really first, came on the scene in '08 and '09 and 2010 during the blog era, right?
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and I remember we had a blog called BCTV where we would just pull up on people, interview them, get content, push content out. And that was our way of really, connecting with at that point in time, millennials, right? Folks in our generation. And I think as we move forward and the demographics have shifted a bit where we're now targeting younger millennials and Gen Zers,
Yeah.
you know, we understand that they are totally engrossed in content. Content is king for them. And if you're not meeting them where they are, the way they want to be met, then you're losing. And so for us, it is that own having those own media components like text me when you're outside, right? Where my partner Marcus and Brandon, they wanted to start a podcast
Yeah.
that focused on the event space, right?
Mhm.
And so they each week they talk to legends, from events, right? Be it
Yeah.
through party promotions or
Mhm.
other like aspects of festival organizers,
Yeah.
things of that nature. But
Yeah.
it's about sharing, talking, providing, I would say, insight to anybody who has an interest in live events, right?
Yeah.
So that was the whole, purpose behind that. And also internally, we have, two content series that are set up to promote others and to
Mhm.
highlight others. So we've got Behind the Broccoli,
Yep.
that series,
Mhm.
where we're going out and we're in the community, we're
Yeah.
attending events, but we're also talking to real people, right?
Yeah.
And looking to help, these real people through sharing their story, you
Yeah.
know, on our
Yeah.
platform. So
Yeah. Super dope. All right. So now we come to the big dog,
yeah,
the
yeah,
BC Fest going down this year. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that lineup. The lineup
yeah,
gets crazier every single year. What
man,
you
yeah.
expect, man?
Yeah, no doubt. I think for us it's always about delivering a lineup that will, I would say, resonate with our demographic.
Hmm.
We really lean into our demographic. We understand our demo and we lean into that,
Yeah.
right? We talking 65% women, man. So that's what this lineup really reflects. That's important. That's important to everybody out there. Know your demographic. Our
Yeah.
lineup represents our demographic, the folks
Yeah.
who support us. And so we're excited, man, to have Meg, to have, Sexy Red, Gunna, Katrin Nada, um, who else, man? We got Issa Rae hosting. We got Victoria Monet, right?
Mhm.
Victoria Monet is pulling up for the first time in a couple months, since she had the sideliner tour.
Yeah.
Um, we got the live experiences with Desi Banks and Funny Marco and trap karaoke with
Mhm.
y- you know, so we're just super excited, man.
Yeah.
And this is all being brought to us this year brought to you this year by Converse,
Mm.
so again, tying it back to the sneaker culture
Yeah.
we love near and dear.
Yeah.
Um, that's near and dear to our heart. So
Yeah.
we're super excited to have Converse on board
Yeah.
this year as well as our presenting sponsor. So
Man, it's crazy. It's going to be crazy. Okay.
yeah,
You're a humble brother, so I like how, and I know y'all working hard. So,
yeah,
but I'm telling the people out there, it's going to be crazy if you can get to DC. If you haven't
yeah.
got the tickets yet, if you in DC, get them tickets, do your thing. Broccoli City is always a
And,
great time, man.
and let me say this too, bro. Like it's gonna be even better this year. This is not me being biased, but over the years, we've been at RFK and in these spaces that aren't necessarily green spaces, but they're
Right.
spaces that have to be built out. And so, as you can probably imagine, that does present a lot of issues, a lot of problems.
Hmm.
Even though we did, I feel like we did an exceptional job. So moving over to Audi Field this year
Yeah.
is something that excites us because, it's a state of the art facility.
Yeah.
It was built like what I think it opened in like
I
2018,
mean, yeah,
but
it's not even that old. Yeah.
this is,
A few years
yeah.
old. Yeah.
So we're talking bells and whistles, man, from top to
Yeah.
bottom,
Yeah.
which is really all about providing the best experience, right? It's not just come see a concert,
Yep.
but top to bottom, once you enter the festival grounds, like, just enhancing the experience for people. So I
Yep.
really I really feel that people who come out this year, are going to be pleasantly surprised with the
Yeah.
experience overall, for sure.
Sounds like a great time. I can't wait.
Yeah,
I'm so proud of you, bro. And by the way, I like
appreciate
that
it.
watch you got on, man. You
Oh
man,
man,
you
appreciate
looking good. You
it.
looking good, brother. That's the see.
Man,
That's what I like.
appreciate it. Appreciate
Looking
it.
good, bro, man.
You
Thank you
know,
so much, man. Hey, Jermon,
yeah,
I appreciate you, bro. Like we finally got this one worked out, and this ain't gonna be the last time you're on the show. We're gonna
yeah.
do some real cool stuff. And I'm looking forward to talk to you again, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And if Adam, if I could just add this last thing, bro, the folks listening out there,
Mhm.
um, if you have ideas and you don't know how to move it forward, like really, really, network across and really look to network across and link with cats who are like minded, because I would say the common denominator between me and my partners were sneakers,
Mm-hmm.
music, and um, and just wanting to make an impact. Those three things brought us together,
Yeah.
right? And so I think about me and you connected via sneakers, right?
Yes,
Bringing it
sir.
back to the show.
Yes, sir.
So,
Yep.
that would be my word, for everybody out there, man.
Yeah.
Like, network across and lean into people who have, interests that are common, with yours. So,
Appreciate that, bro. Have a good one. I'll talk to you soon.
all right, peace. Appreciate you. Okay.
Shouts out to Jermon. Shouts out to Rocket City Fest. It sounds like it's going to be a monster this year, man. Support those fellas. They're doing amazing things, okay? Remember, follow, follow, follow me. MSR underscore Adam, MSR underscore Adam. Follow me on all social media. Subscribe to the channel, like the channel, share the channel, share the podcast, subscribe to the podcast, all that stuff. Do that. It helps out. Remember, continue to mind your mental health, ladies and gentlemen. Continue to mind your mental health is super important, okay? Mind your mental health, okay? Mind your physical health. Get outside, get busy, get working. Do what you got to do. Take care of yourself. And never forget, please continue to always be great. I'm up out of here. Peace.